Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Calvin Tobin Show. I am your host, Calvin Tobin. Today we have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Are you kidding me? America is the worst and unsafest country in this entire world. As of yesterday, there was a mass shooting by an 18-year-old going to an elementary school, killing multiple kids and a couple adults. 18 total lives were lost. America needs to step up. This political world is never going to help out the actual true American people. It will never be that way. It's always been that way and will always be that way. American people have to stand up for themselves. And this gun control crap is absolutely ridiculous, and yet these politicians do nothing about it to actually defend their country, even though they constantly say that they do. Like, America is the only place where all this stuff happens. We are only 145 days in to this year, and we've already had 212 total shootings and 27 school shootings. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm warning you, just for the rest of the world, like, the whole world needs to hear this on every level. Do not move to America. It is not the greatest country in the world. It never has been. It's always been a corporation. It's never been a nation. It always wants to be divided because of how much politicians want power. And now, at this point, we have got to see people stand up. Are you kidding me? And still, with this elementary school stuff, like, come on. Like, an average of these, almost every single kid was 10 years or younger plus 2 adults. Are you kidding me? 7 to 10 years old. These kids aren't even old enough to lose their freaking baby teeth. Like, these kids aren't even old enough to know what life is even about on any basis. Like, how? And this kid literally bought 2 assault rifles on his birthday and decides to go shoot little kids who are literally 2 feet tall, who don't even have an absolute thought of any sort of matter of evil inside them. And yet an 18-year-old kid just decides he's gonna go shoot up little kids. Like, dude, like, this country is absolutely horrible. Wow, like, it is the unsafest country in the world, and I would not live here at all. If I had the choice, and if I was able to right now, I'd move to a different continent. You don't see this on any other continent. Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, you hear this nowhere else but America. This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, now, let's get out of this horrible stuff, and now let's get to the good stuff. Last night, we had an epic battle between the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers, and this series, it's a bit one-sided because Edmonton is now leading the series 3-1 as they defeated the Flames 5-3 last night, and as they now take that commanding 3-1 lead. Connor McDavid is Wayne Gretzky 2.0, and we are witnessing greatness right now. Connor McDavid is absolutely unbelievable and has shown that he is the best and most skilled player possibly of all time, but definitely in today's age. And here's how crazy good Connor McDavid is right now. He's actually on Wayne Gretzky's level because he's putting up points that Wayne Gretzky did back then. But if the generations were flipped, Connor McDavid would be going way harder than Wayne Gretzky, because in this day and age, some players are far more skilled. Now, let me get into this. Connor McDavid, through the first 11 games of any playoff year, has the 4th most points. There's 2 players ahead of him. Mario Lemieux with 27, and then Wayne Gretzky is in first and second place, where he had 28 points in 1983 and 31 in the first 11 games in 1985. Connor McDavid is one unbelievable player. He just needs that chip. Like, once he gets that chip, he can like start solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest players of all time. And by the time his career is all said and done, there's a good chance we can actually put the respect on his name, depending on how many chips he or how many cups he does get. We can call him possibly better than Wayne Gretzky, but I don't know if that's going to even be possible. But my opinion is he would have to get 2,000 points plus 2 or 3 cups if he wants to be considered as good as Gretzky or better. Now, in the games last night, with the Flames taking on the Oilers, all offenses were firing on all cylinders as Connor McDavid led the way with 2 assists on the night to get his 24th and 25th point of the playoffs. Oh, and that's Connor McDavid's place as well. This game, yes, it was a close game. It was 5-3, yes, but in a way, the Oilers completely outbattled the Flames in every single way, from their speed through all their defenders. And in this game, the Oilers outdueled them in everything. More shots, more blocks, less penalties, and obviously more goals. And with the Flames, for how many shots they took, they did outshoot the Oilers. Yes, they did have 32 shots, but Edmonton blocked 23 of those shots. So it was really 9 true shots on that goal, and they made a goal every 3 shots based on that math. But the craziest part of this game was Calgary's 3rd goal. I don't even know how this was even possible or how it even happened. The Calgary's defenseman Rasmus Anderson ended up deciding to take a shot from nearly the other side of the ice. Took a shot and actually made it, and Mike Smith wasn't paying any attention, and he paid for it, and that's what got a goal. But Edmonton still ended up winning. Now, Edmonton's domination is getting crazier and better as the playoffs go on, and I wouldn't be surprised if their domination makes them end up in the cup because of how good McDavid and Draisaitl are. Best duo in the league easily. Guys, what Edmonton has done in the playoffs so far, and leading 3-1 against the Flames, and Flames are not a team to actually mess with. Like, if you mess them with a little bit or you take them a little bit too lightly, they are going to take advantage of you, and you are going to pay for it. The fact that Edmonton's doing this to Calgary says a lot, and it shows how dominated they are, and they can go farther than a lot of people might expect. And they could end up in the cup. Now, domination is the most fun about any sport whatsoever, especially when it's your team. And last night with the Mets taking on the Giants, this game was absolutely unbelievably crazy for how high scoring it was. The final score ended up being 12-13, with Brandon Crawford getting a walk-off hit with Rupp scoring the final run, making it 13-12, with the San Francisco Giants taking the victory. This game was a statistical masterpiece, complete statistical masterpiece, and here's how. The Giants got 19 hits, the Mets got 18. Francisco Lindor had 6 RBIs, John Peterson had 8. We also had 5 total home runs in this game, and we have 5 total players who had 3 hits or more. Pitchers absolutely hated this game. No one wanted to pitch in this game, not at all, for what was going on and how much chaos was going on in this game. Pitchers hated every aspect of this game, and every single pitcher except for 2 relief pitchers, because there was about 10 or 11 pitchers that pitched in this game, all of them allowed 2 hits or more. Like, that's why these pitchers hated this game. Nobody could stop anybody. It was just run after run after run after hit after hit after hit. Like, this game was absolutely crazy. And now for the Mets, since Max Scherzer strained his oblique last week, they have been proving that they don't need a superstar pitcher to win games, and they have proven that, and they have proven that they can do everything from top to bottom of this game. The Mets are a great team, and what's really great for them is that their superstar pitcher, Jacob deGrom, is expected to come back in the next 3 to 5 weeks, which is absolutely golden for them because the summer is always the hardest part of the season, and to get their best pitcher, beg to differ, like on who's better on strikeouts or total pitching, deGrom or Scherzer, your choice. He's coming back in the next 3 to 5 weeks. Now, the best way, which I'm sure the Mets are going to do this, the best way to make sure that Jacob deGrom can't stay healthy without having him to relapse his injury is have him slowly start games and let him catch up to speed, and then he's golden, and then the Mets will take off because then Max Scherzer is just going to return a matter of weeks later. And then once Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom are in, I truly believe it is game over for everybody. The two biggest strikeout kings plus this offensive masterpiece that the Mets have created this year, it is a different, this Mets team is a different kind of team this year, and they are the best team, being at 29-16. Yes, the Yankees are 30-13, but it's strength of schedule. If you look at the strength of schedule, you can see that the Yankees, based on how good the record says, they are not nearly as good as the Mets. Because if the Mets play the Yankees, I think in a 7-game series, I believe that would be a sweep for the Mets. Because the Yankees, all they're playing right now are the soft teams. And right now, the Mets are playing all the top-end teams because they're in the National League, and nearly every single team already has 20 wins. The National League right now this year is significantly better than the American League. And like I said, now the Yankees are the first team to reach 30 wins. And there are multiple other teams that are about to reach 30 wins as well. And the closest ones are the Dodgers, Padres, and Astros. Those guys either have 28 or 29 wins. And the coolest part about this year is that in the first 45 games of this year, we have 8 teams that are all within 2 to 3 games of each other and 2 to 3 games from already achieving 30 wins. This season is truly epic to watch, and if you are not watching, you are missing out on a special season, because this season is actually bringing the fun back in baseball. Now, speaking of fun, the NFL is taking away some fun from the players. And what do I mean by that? Well, the NFL has been deciding something that they think is going to improve their season and improve this specific week. What is it? They think that getting rid of the Pro Bowl game is best for the Pro Bowl week. Now, in my opinion, I don't think it will. I don't think it will make it better. I mean, but it's based on how it goes. Because who knows? Maybe it might make it better. It might not. I personally don't think it will, because you're ruining the competition of the game. And if you're seriously going to get rid of the Pro Bowl, there's no reason to be Pro Bowlers or All-Stars, because the players that are being elected as the All-Stars to be played in that game, it's going to be pointless, because that's the reason why they get elected as Pro Bowlers. And then all the best of the best get to play each other, and that's the best part to watch. Yeah, the Pro Bowl game is not that interesting, but it is a game to watch of true epicness. And besides, with this game, during that week, the AFC and NFC conference, they have mini games that they battle all week, and then the game on Sunday is the final product of that week to capitalize it, and then going into the next week of where it's the Super Bowl. To me, I don't think that it's a good idea to get rid of the Pro Bowl, because this game, these players thrive off competing against each other, and that's what makes this game a lot more fun. Doesn't matter if it's 1-on-1, 5-on-5, 7-on-7, 11-on-11. It doesn't matter. Playing sport competitively and having the best players to watch and do it, that's what makes it even better. They get rid of this, it's not going to be as much fun to watch, and this seems very unfun to me. Now, what's very unfun right now is the Mavericks are in a little bit of a predicament, being down 3-1, but multiple teams have come down from 3-1, but not 3-0. And Dallas, I don't think is going to do that. They are a phenomenal team, and they absolutely blew out the Warriors and were up by as many as 29. Yes, the Warriors were slowly coming back, but based on where they had that 29-point lead, it was already, and the way the game was going, it was already too late for the Warriors to come back and get that W, even though they did make it within 8 points. That game was all Dallas. Now, here's the thing about Luka. The biggest question for Luka is this going to hurt him at all in any way of his career resume at all? No, it won't. Luka Doncic just needs a couple more really good players around him, and Luka is a champion himself. Luka is actually another version of LeBron. He knows how to carry teams like no other. He is scoring 40 points game in and game out. He's already scored 3, 4 40-point games just in the playoffs this year. Luka is unbelievable, but I do not think that the Dallas Mavericks are going to win Game 5. And the Warriors will go on to the NBA Finals. I do think it's going to be in 5 games, but who knows? Luka Doncic could surprise us, because that is what he does best, surprising us in every way possible. Now, with the Warriors going, is Steph Curry potentially going to get his 4th? I don't know, because honestly, in my opinion, if Miami advances to the NBA Finals, Warriors are going to win in 5 or 6 games. If the Celtics win, I'm a bit iffy on if either of them win, because both of these guys are both these teams are huge firepower teams and superstardom teams. That would be an epic NBA Finals to go 7 games. But it's going to be hard when you have 2 of the greatest shooters on the planet ever to exist in NBA history on one team. That is always going to be hard to go against, no matter how great of a player you are, including LeBron James. And that's my prediction for the NBA Finals is Boston versus Golden State, and I have Golden State winning in 7, and I say it's going to be based on home court advantage. Home court advantage is going to be the biggest key factor in this entire series. It could be a seesaw series, or it could be 2-2, 1-1-1, or something like that. It would be a very insane series, and I believe that is going to be that is what is going to happen. And my winner of the NBA Finals is the Golden State Warriors, where Stephen Curry gets his 4th NBA championship. And once he does that, in my book, he solidifies himself as a top 8 player in the history of the National Basketball Association. Alright, that's the end of the Calvin Tobin Show. Please subscribe to my channel at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports media. And please follow me on Instagram at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports news whatsoever. And